following program is brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization.
Welcome to Late Enough with Mama J. We are going to have a continuance of an interesting evening as we are going to be discussing sensuality and spirituality because that's the topic we chose.
Yeah.
At any rate, I have with me the beautiful, the magnificent Goddess Energy, Michelle Turner.
Thank you, Mama J. I'm honored to be here because I think you're the most highest queen and priestess of the spirituality, so I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. Namaste, dear.
Namaste.
Now, in case everyone out there doesn't know about you, you're actually an eclectic person.
Yes.
You're a minister. You hold a bachelor's degree in elementary education and sociology.
Yes.
You have been an actress, a model, a spokesperson. You even have a Betty Page calendar.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, what a combination you are.
Thank you.
And so how did you get on that path to like evolve into all those different things? And then you being a minister was that becoming a minister before or after you've done your Betty Page and stuff? Like, where's that in
It was
reference?
actually after.
Really?
Yeah, I did the Betty Page thing for about 2 years, pretty strong, and I had the opportunity to meet Betty Page, but that didn't come about. I was invited to her funeral, and then after that, I got into the minister's class, but I love my minister because she's Roxanne Wilson is her name, of Pathfinder Church in Tampa. And she actually lives on Pathfinder Way because she thinks like Pathfinder, like she helps people find their way in life, which is really cool. But I went through a 2-year course with her, but she actually supported my spiritual side and my spiritual side because a lot of times in our society we find
spiritual and the sensual sides.
Yeah, conflicting.
Right.
And I think that has to do with like religion in a way because they say, you know, can I say that word on air?
Yeah.
That it's not good. Sex isn't good. But
Depends on the partner.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That is so true.
But I am somebody that throughout my life I've been very, very in touch with my sensuality through different careers that I've had.
Yes.
And I have evolved it, and I found that it was really difficult to be on my spiritual path and be an extremely sensual person at the same time, and then be presenting as I'm this extremely spiritual person, and then my actions and behaviors are being displayed more as a very erotic, very sensual side of that. And so what I've had to honestly do is find a balance between the two. Right. That I've had to tone down a lot of my natural flirtation, my natural way of being.
Right. I understand
where
that.
A lot of people could misconstrue it and think that, ooh, she likes me. She wants to jump my bones.
Right. Right.
To that, I can enjoy someone's presence. I can enjoy their attractiveness and their chemistry with mine and everything else. But that doesn't necessarily mean we have to
get
it on.
Exactly. And I think that can be misconstrued, especially in the entertainment business.
Right.
I find that managing my daughter, and I think I just kind of nip it in the butt right away because, like, if I'm presenting my daughter or there's an opportunity, sometimes there's that opportunity that they think that you're going to give them something sexual in return, if I can be that blunt about it. And
sure, this is the taboo side.
You know, the taboo side, yeah. And I just let people know that's not who I am. And I am truly my daughter's manager, and it will be awesome when I can, you know, hand her off to a really good manager. But right now I'm managing her. She's 16. And, I just want to show her the right way. And I want solid people that really want to help my daughter because she's talented.
Right, and not take advantage.
Right.
Because she's a beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's very talented at everything.
Yeah.
She takes after her mamacita.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
And so how has it been? Because you're clearly a woman that you're very comfortable with your body. You're very comfortable with your sensuality, your sexuality, and everything else. You do accent your curves and everything with your clothing and stuff. How do you think that affects your daughters and how they are and everything? Like how does that compare for them?
Well, I think it just depends on where I'm going. If it's a business meeting, I'll wear slacks or a business suit. And I like to, I don't want to say dress trashy, but I'd like to dress sexy sometimes. But, it just depends on the situation. But I really try to be a good role model for my girls. We do go to church, so they have that background. And I don't think there's anything wrong with showing your sensual side, but it has to be in the right situation. But with my daughter and her career, I mean, it's very professional. So.
Right. There is that small border of line of classy and then trashy.
Exactly. Yes, I totally agree.
So what do you think about in our society? Everything is an extreme. And people like ourselves, we are our spiritual, we're in touch with our spirituality.
Right.
And we're in touch with our sensuality. And we're always doing what we can to manage and balance it out.
Right.
Well, what do you think needs to occur in this world for that to kind of start seeping into all different places of people, for them to understand or reconnect that it's okay if you're a sensual person and you can be connected to God?
I think that that's how we naturally are, and we have to just remember it. I think the worldly view of sex and porn has kind of misconstrued what it is and taken it to kind of like
extreme.
A raw, extreme place. And I think that if you're with the right person or you're in a marriage and, you have a committed relationship, then I think that is a beautiful thing shared between two people, and so much can be expressed there, and you can feel that oneness. So I believe that that's really how it should be. And
more of a spiritual connection first.
Yes, ma'am.
That will lead into more of the sensual sexual connection.
Yes.
But it's always helpful when you know that the person that you find or you hope to find that you have a spiritual connection with, there is a genuine chemistry between.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know for myself, there are times
definitely
where I will meet somebody, another person of the opposite sex, and I can tell that on that level spiritually, man, we're right there. But then the chemistry and the physical attraction is not there.
Right. You have to have all of them: mental, spiritual, physical. And sometimes for me, I'll meet somebody that's considered drop dead handsome, but I'm not attracted to him. But it's because my spirit knows. Girl,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's right. And then you'll meet someone that's so, but their spirit is off the chain. And to me, I'm more attracted to that because I know I'll be treated right, or there's just you have similarities in spirit.
Exactly. Yeah. I've never gone for those drop dead gorgeous guys. I've always gone for more of the rugged type, that they have that personality. They have. I like the good looking geeks.
Yeah,
the ones that they
can fix things for you, girl.
Yeah, there's somebody that I've recently met who is just. I have really
do tell.
Oh, I can't say too much.
She doesn't want to jinx it. We know that spiritual law too.
That's exactly what it is.
Throw away the key.
And not to mention, he is somebody that a lot of women find him attractive.
Wow.
But he's not the typical guy that you would find attractive. But I got to get to know him this past weekend, and there is something definitely about him that piques my curiosity and interest. And I don't know. I'm trying not to go totally in the girl realm. You know how we can do that.
You're like, does he like me? How's it going?
Yeah.
But yeah, well, his spirit sounds amazing. So that's probably why a lot of women, because a lot of women are emotional and we like to be taken care of, and men are more visual. So, but we know that the emotional is obviously the biggest thing in humanity and showing love and
definitely.
care. So
it's all about the unity of divinity and having compassion. That's why I like having people like yourself come on my show. You share your stories of like, what did you go through in your life to get to where you're at now?
Well, this is the first time publicly I've ever talked about it, but I was abused as a child verbally and somewhat physically, and it was a hard journey because I always wanted my mom to love me, and she didn't, and I went through 10 years of counseling, but I didn't go into counseling until I had a severe car accident and someone in the other car passed, and my job was like, just go to counseling, we'll pay for you, because they knew I was struggling with that. And then my whole childhood stuff came out, and it was like I realized it wasn't my fault, it was my mom's. And so, it helped me immensely. But I went through 10 years of like counseling, and I wasn't afraid to ask for help, but I always asked for spiritual counselors because I grew up like in church, and I just always felt a connection. I always felt like God had me safe, though. Like I just felt like there was something inside me that always kept, the God that always kept me okay. So
yeah, that's just your divine connection. I too went through a similar background, but I even went as far as I went through a sexual abuse.
Aww.
So and the element of when you're a survivor of sexual abuse, a lot of people don't understand. And my brother too. Say hello, brother.
Hello.
My brother is actually in studio with me this evening. Mama Kay is up in New York with one of our siblings, my sister. And so my brother, he's brought his presence in. And so he's also gone through some stuff himself of, sexual, physical, emotional, verbal abuses. And that really ends up shaping a lot of people's lives of how they react in relationships and how they react to anything outside of themselves. But the strength comes when you get to that point where you can forgive. And release and let go of that past, because I started to realize that the reason why I had to go through that is because God knew I was going to be strong enough
to handle
it.
Amen.
And
God's not going to give you anything you can't take.
Exactly.
Right.
And what happened was a lot of people, when they go through those type of things in life, they either end up as being real drug addicts,
right,
or being
that was me at one point.
True alcoholics.
Yeah, I'm still struggling.
Aww. Well, you're making it through. That's
absolutely.
Why you're here on the show, to witness to that.
Yes. And different addictions. I've had a sexual addiction. I have gone through not quite the drug addiction or anything, but I did, after an end of a relationship, went through the alcoholic addiction. And it was only through my spiritual grace of surrendering every single time that I was able to find the strength to pull myself out of each situation, or just really look at myself. Or what God does, what the universe does, is he puts certain people into your life to mirror back to you what you're doing.
Yes.
And I was blessed at one point when I realized, it was a friend of mine who said to me, "You're addicted to sex."
Wow.
I said, "What? I am not. Where are you getting that from?" And he goes, "Well, look at what you're doing to yourself. It doesn't matter what type of relationship you're in, even if that person isn't treating you right, you're still there, and it's still that physical thing that you're looking for and wanting and da-da-da-da-da-da." And I tell you what, that friend of mine, and he truly has been a friend to me, he made me take a step back and look at myself. I said,
Okay, that's good though. That's what good friends are for.
Did he really just say that to me? And so, yeah, I really, I never went into any type of, like Al-Anon or anonymous type things.
Right. You worked it out on your own.
I worked it out with spirit and myself, and I have found it in that strength because I've gone to a couple of those meetings just to see what. Let me tell you, those things freak me out.
Well, you can get more accomplished with yourself and God. You get the answers quicker instead of hearing all the mess.
I was just sitting in a couple of those meetings with these people.
You're like, I'm better off.
And I was just like, I was sitting back, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, no disrespect to these people, but why do they keep repeating their same story over and
get
over
over
again?
it, like move on.
Like, when do you go beyond just the recovery? When do you
quit
just
being
say,
a victim?
Yeah. When do you just say, I am healed?
Right, exactly.
You claim it fully and wholeheartedly. You don't repeat your story over and over and keep repeating it and say, oh, I'm in recovery, I'm in recovery, I'm recovering. Because you keep covering it up.
Right.
Redoing it and covering it up. And so how is that really helping anybody? Yeah, when you share your stories with each other, it is to enrich another person's life, but then to back it up and keep repeating the stories, and then you're not forgiving yourself if you fall off the wagon, if you do something where you're like, oops, did that again. Yeah. Oh, hello, old me.
I've done it a few times.
Exactly. That's right. And I think that, like, when you feel that, like, peace within after you've worked through a situation like that, and I think another big thing I learned when I was younger is that God is really our mother, our father, our brother, our sister, our spouse. So
it's
like
everywhere, in everyone, in everything.
Exactly. And when I learned that, I know I had a physical mom and dad, and they're no longer here. God rest their souls. But I can do things now, and I don't have to worry. But no, I'm just kidding. They're probably looking from above. But
oh, you know that, girl.
I'm always like, hi. But it's like cool to know that you can just go to spirit with anything and like feel those answers or meditate or pray. And I'm so grateful to have that connection, as I'm sure you are, because that's the true source of everything.
Oh, so, most definitely.
It's kind of weird, but I'm like so focused on my daughter right now that I'm not even like dating. But I just started praying about it. Like, I just don't even feel the desire right now because I'm really helping her.
I'm right there. I'm so focused on my career. Yes, I know I mentioned a certain someone, but
I guess that's all three of us, huh?
Yes. There you go. Yeah, all three of us. Yeah.
But I'm really wanting to just focus on the career because he's got his own thing going on. And I'm just saying, all right, God, you got this one. If this one is supposed to turn into anything, then you make things happen. And
I think it's all about timing. Like, if that's meant, like, that's what I say, God, bring me the person at the right time.
That's what I've been asking for.
Yeah. But it's not like I need it right now. But I feel like
it would be nice.
It would be nice, but I feel like since I'm not really, I'm so focused on my daughter, I actually feel like I have more energy to devote to that instead of, like, for me anyways, it's kind of hard to explain, but I feel like I'm able to forge ahead quickly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what made you decide to just go ahead and be your daughter's manager? Was it because you had learned a lot from your own entertainment career? Because I read your bio and you're an accomplished professional dancer.
Yes, I was ballet, tap, jazz, and I was in the Detroit Emmy Awards, part of it was called Dance East, and it was actually a group, and so we did all the different type ballet, tap, jazz, and kickline type things.
Wow.
So would you consider yourself a groupie?
Am I her groupie? I'll be her groupie. Because I think it's, I've always wanted to be a dancer on Broadway.
Oh, wow. You should go for it. I could totally see you there. We should get her lessons right now. You're never too late.
Actually, I really want to start a burlesque troupe.
Okay, I'll be in it. I was in one time.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah,
How did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed it, and we were supposed to go to Miami, but it didn't work out. The group fell apart for various reasons, but I enjoyed it. It was together about a year and a half. We performed like in Feather Sound area and Tampa.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, cool. Maybe we should put our heads together and really manifest that.
Yeah.
Because that's my outlet of expressing my sensuality and my creativity, and I love to dance.
Okay.
And I love to entertain, and I love to tease.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
just let me know.
She even knows the Betty Page thing. The pinup model thing.
Yeah.
What did he say out there?
I said, just let me know. I won't be there.
He won't be there because I'm a sister. I like legitimately, people. It's my blood brother. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I had some issues, and this is the reason why I don't go to strip clubs when I was younger. I was trying to help my sister out with her oldest son, and just so happened she was on stage while I was going up there and getting some breast milk.
What? I don't even remember anything like that.
That's cute.
I knew it was a mistake to have him around.
You're not supposed to spill all the beans. No, just kidding. Well, when I did my burlesque thing, anyway.
Well, you guys are talking about sexuality and everything else too, right? That goes in there.
Yeah, you're right. I had breast milk too.
Nice.
Twice.
Mine was twice too.
Yeah.
So now it's gone from sensuality, sexuality, burlesque to breast milk. This is really turning into an interesting show.
I like it. It's pretty cool. So how old are your kids?
I have a 16-and-a-half-year-old son, and I have a 12-and-a-half-year-old son.
Aw, awesome.
And with my sons, they were with me 50% of the time growing up.
Right.
Because something that men don't realize about us women is our hormones after having children.
Oh boy.
Big time.
We end up with postpartum depression.
Yes.
And that I can put money on this.
Yeah.
That I'll say 80% of relationships and marriages that end up in divorce within 3 to 5 years after a child is born is due to postpartum.
Yep, I agree.
And because of our hormones being so out of whack, and even when we're nursing, that like the whole element, because every relationship that ended of my children's fathers, it was within 3 to 5 years of having them.
It's true.
And then it was after I started to come away from that I started feeling normal again. And I'm like, oh, I'm a human being again. I'm a normal person. I'm good.
As normal as we can feel.
Exactly.
Normal. But I know, because I had the postpartum, and then I know that, what's the actress that talked about it? She's the one that did the Calvin Klein jeans in the 80s.
Shields?
Yep.
Brooke Shields.
Yeah, she came out publicly about it, and she had it really bad to the point where she, just was very depressed and had to go in the hospital. But I went on, I think, like 10 milligrams of Lexapro for like a year after I had Isabella. But I didn't feel that way after Maya so much. But I guess I was like 39, but my hormones were a lot different. So, but then after that, I went off of it and I feel fine. But I think a lot of women don't really talk about it enough.
No, and I think that is something that we do need to talk about. And it's also something that men need to talk about as well. Yes. Because men don't realize that really is a culprit when they have fallen in love with a woman.
Yes.
And that woman just turns into a totally different person where the man doesn't feel like they can relate to them. Well, you're right. You can't, because our hormones and our brain chemistry and just everything about us is so totally out of whack. It is.
Yes.
But if you truly love that woman, and if you become more aware of the effects of postpartum depression and just the chemical imbalances that we go through, you stick with that woman. Yes. And I promise you'll find that woman that you fell in love with.
Right.
Again.
Yes. It's true.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, it all depends on the woman. And also how much
the man like helps her. Like I think there should be a course before people get married. Like, hey, after you have a kid, you have to go through like this chemical imbalance thing, and like don't give up. Like go to the psychiatrist or the doctor and get help. I mean, it's like funny, but it's true, you know.
Yeah.
So
I don't think they help either.
You don't think they help either?
I went to a counselor, and this was with Sarah when I was married myself, and yeah, we went to the counselor, and Sarah was talking to the counselor, and counselor agreed with her, said there was nothing wrong with her, but everything had to do with me. I'm like, you know what? I'm done here. You know, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, because it's not always the
one
man's
side.
It's not.
Yep.
Because it takes two people to destroy a relationship, and it takes two people to make a relationship.
Right. And that counselor was off base. You should have gone to another one.
You could have come to me, and I would have. Yeah. I would have done
straightened it out.
Oh yes, for sure. I would have.
A little smackdown, huh?
Yes.
We'd give her. She'd have her gloves on and everything. Yeah, because it takes a good counselor to look at both sides of it and not just one-sided.
Right.
Also, do you think it's depends on what kind of counselor you have too? If it's a Christian counselor, a godly counselor,
I agree.
I mean, that's one thing. But then if it's
about money and pill popping,
well,
that's
that
another.
too,
That's
and then
money.
you got the ones who take the women's side, and you have the ones that take the male side too. So I mean,
gotta find the balance.
happy,
Yes. Yeah.
happy
Medium.
Yeah, there you go.
I know when I went to a counselor with my husband, she like drew a pie chart and like it showed like the tendencies of abuse, but she was like so nice to him, but she just told him in a nice manner, you know, and then she was so nice to me, but she's like, hey,
She
he's
was matter-of-factly.
abusive. Yeah, matter-of-factly. And then like after that session, it was like a huge wake-up call for me. So I was
Really?
like,
How long
yeah.
had you been married for?
I was married for 2 years, but I was with him 7. But it got worse when I quit my job and had my kid. I don't know if it was that, you know, imbalance thing, but I think it was also just, you know, time to get out.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Was he the type of guy? Because something else that a lot of people don't talk about is the men that get jealous.
Yeah.
Once the woman does have a child, and that is also a culprit in the demise of a relationship at times after
But do
a
you
couple
want to
has
know
a
why
baby.
the man gets jealous though?
Well, we know.
Because the attention is taken away from the man, and they want the same attention they got before the baby was born.
Yes.
Exactly.
However, there's a time frame where a mother, and this is where the emotional maturity and the emotional intelligence of a man needs to be put into place, that a mother does need to give attention to the child, but there also needs to be some sort of balance of giving that to the father and to the child.
Yes.
And also that the father
gives time
to give attention to the mother and the child.
Yep, I agree.
It needs to all be a balanced out. It can't just be all one-sided.
Exactly. And then a lot of times the parents don't go out on dates anymore, which is not a good thing. I mean, you have to find someone that's reputable or someone in the family to watch the child, but you need that balance. Otherwise, that relationship falls apart. And it shows the kid that, I mean, you have to, you know, take your own interests into effect as well and find that balance. Otherwise, the child learns to neglect himself kind of like the parents do. And then everybody's unhappy in that situation.
Exactly.
So.
Well, I don't think my kids had that problem because I was a very unique, I'm a very unique mother. I've always encouraged my children to whatever they put their minds to, they can make it happen.
That's awesome.
I've always made sure that when they would get into fist fights with each other or want to, I'd stop
Like us?
that. Yeah. Our dad never kept us from fist fighting each other. And that actually affected our ways of communicating with each other effectively.
Oh, yeah.
And so what
to work it out.
Right. And so I took those experiences from my own childhood with my own siblings, and when things like that would happen with my own children,
Duke it out.
No. I told them I would come down hard on them. I say, you do not hit each other, you do not beat each other up. I said, there's a whole wide world out there that you'll be fighting against. You do not fight with each other like that.
Nice. I like that.
You two talk it out. You guys learn to communicate with each other. You guys learn to understand that you will agree to disagree, but you do not.
No, within the household.
You do not hit each other.
Sanctity.
Right.
Household,
and I just
support.
And so they could argue, but the moment they started hitting each other, that's when I would step in, and then I'll say, you want to hit somebody?
Yeah. Here I am.
I would spank them at that point, but I would just pull them apart and just tell them no. And believe it or not, even though my children, they are from two relationships that were very sacred to me at the time. I didn't realize it, but looking back now and reflecting, okay, yeah.
That's awesome.
But even to this day, the way I've raised my boys is that they still can have a communication. And when they're together, it's like, they're like this.
Aw, that's awesome.
It's like, hello, I'm here, mom's here.
Right.
They have their...
But you helped create that. And
right.
A positive way to solve issues and problems through talking. And I think that if more people parented like you, the society would be a lot different. And yeah, definitely.
I feel like I've accomplished something when my 16-year-old son has called me up and he talks to me about stuff going on in his life, and he's actually told me, thank you, Mom, for raising me the way you did.
Aw, that's so amazing for a child at 16, because most of the time they want to talk back, but he feels it.
Yeah, but not only that, he's even text messaged me, Mom, I'm having an amazing day.
Aww,
what 16-year-old says that about
awesome.
Their life?
You go, know? Girl.
So,
that's really cool.
And then when we hang out...
Should write a book about parenting, too.
I know,
on
right?
your bucket list. I know you have a lot going, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, the bucket list. How big is what kind of bucket list you got?
It's pretty big. I want to travel to Europe. Yay.
We should become travel buddies.
Oh, I would love that.
Do you have your passport?
Not yet. I'm working on it for me and Maya and Isabella. Yeah, you too?
Yes.
Yeah, we got to get it. Yeah, that would be awesome. But I'd love to travel all around Europe and do the monorail, which is pretty cheap. And,
right, yeah.
I've been to Asia. I traveled around Asia, Hong Kong, China, Thailand.
Has anybody ever thought that you were Asian?
They did. Mm-hmm.
Really?
I guess my makeup and the dark hair, so... No, just kidding. Yeah.
So have you always had really dark hair, or were you like a redhead or a blonde? Or
I was dark hair. My eyebrows are my natural color. I think maybe I dye it 1 or 2 shades darker, but my mom and dad were really dark.
Oh,
hair.
really?
Yeah, I think there was some Spanish on my mom's side, but
that snuck in there.
Yeah, exactly. And there was, because I think she was dating a Spanish guy too back in the 50s, and that was like not accepted at that time with her family, so she was forward thinking. And obviously my daughter's mixed, so I'm forward thinking, so I just believe everybody's one. And,
definitely, it's true, very much so.
Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing. So where do you foresee our future for this world is going? Because there's a lot of fear-based stuff going on with politics and just the ongoing wars of this, wars on that. We have our girls over in Africa that have been kidnapped. I wonder, I haven't been up on the story yet, but I hope they have recovered those girls. There was like 250, 300 girls that got kidnapped.
Yes.
About a month ago or something.
80 escaped so far.
Oh, really? Good. I keep praying and sending that energy for them.
Yes.
That they awaken, and even those terrorists.
That they awaken.
They awaken and they get healed because it's something deep within their core that happened in their generation of lineage.
Yes.
That has really affected them, that they feel that that's a right way of doing stuff, and where it's not.
Right.
It's devastating, and that's where we as a society have to awaken and learn about forgiveness, especially within ourselves.
Yes, and love. And I mean, I think all these things are happening, and you have to look at the root of it. There's so many political issues, but I think it all boils down to money and who wants to have the most money in this world, and they run everything: media, porn, TV. So it's like I almost filter what I watch, and but when I do hear the stories, I do pray for the enlightenment, because I think that's what really is helpful. Prayer is effective,
very much so,
and confers harmony. Like I've always been told that when I was a little girl. Prayer is effective and confers harmony. So like you do, I just send that love like around the world or to whatever event to awaken people's consciousness. I've even sent it to some of the families that I feel kind of run the world. And so
you too?
Yeah, me too. Yay. And so I feel like if you want to watch somebody that's in one of the families that awoke, her son awoke first, and then Aaron Rothschild.
Yeah, I love
Erin Rothschild. Yeah.
Oh, he's so dreamy.
Yes.
I want him like
oh my gosh.
Is it a boy? It's a boy? Okay.
There's a Rothschild who has made documentaries and stuff. And
okay.
He's a beautiful soul.
Beautiful. And then there's also a girl one too.
Oh, really? So cousins.
Probably. Yeah.
She got on the bandwagon with her cousin because he's made some interesting documentaries that you can actually find on YouTube. Look up the Rothschilds.
Rockefellers,
Rothschilds, Rockefellers,
J.P. Morgans,
the Morgans. Look up the Sylvia Brown's secret societies.
Yeah, there you go.
And then
Secret Service are coming in now. No, just kidding.
If you look at that particular book, The Secret Societies, then you'll see all the primary elitist families throughout America and the world that has been taking control of the monies of people over the generations and everything. And so it's something that we do need to find a way to overturn that.
We do. And like America is a corporation, like all of our Social Security cards have our name in caps. And so we're making like Coca-Cola, all the big companies rich, and they put like $1 million on everybody's head, and they've taken all the silver and gold out. And then the Federal Reserve started like their private bank, and then that's why we're so in debt, because it's like they're just printing fake money. But if we do that, we get put in prison.
I know. Isn't that really jacked up?
Yeah. They're out there causing fraud.
But if we do it,
I
want to take some leaves from trees and turn it into money. No,
just felony. There's the tree.
Tree of life, people.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, wasn't that how the mafia was working too?
Yeah, I think it's all. Yeah, it's true. It's basically the whole world is working like that. Yep, you're right. Yep. So, I think like when I hear about it, sometimes I can get so depressed, but like I just try to go to the spiritual side, and God is unlimited, like, and
it's infinite,
yes,
and absolute,
yes,
where there are no limitations, and anything is possible,
right?
Everything is possible,
right?
And you can change just by the contents of your mind. You can change your entire life,
right? Exactly.
And I'm living proof of that.
Amen.
Like seriously living proof of that. Where I had been for 15 years in my career, when I had been on the fence, because you do become addicted to a certain level of lifestyle or money,
I do too, yeah.
or something like that. And not to say by any means I've been ultra rich, no, but I had been for a period of time. I was comfortable. And so for 15 years being a massage therapist.
Yes, you had the money.
Yeah, and it was easy come, easy go. But it was also something eating at my soul. And
right. It wasn't, you needed to change.
Yes.
And you felt that shift needed to happen. And that's God calling you, or your purpose, your true purpose here.
Oh, yes. So, and I've been writing for a very, very long time. And like, I was supposed to get a lot of stuff published about 10 years ago, and I let everything else get in my way, and
now is the time.
Now is the time. And so focus.
And you can publish it yourself and keep all the proceeds and do it online through ebooks. And
Have you written one yet?
I just wrote an excerpt when I was in minister school, and it was called The Butterfly, and it was like the metamorphosis of my life and like dealing with the trauma of my childhood and the abuse. And I wrote it through kind of like the butterfly's eyes, like looking in and seeing the girl in the house getting abused. And like, I don't know, I can't remember how I wrote it. It's funny, but I need to like bring it back and just kind of put it out there. I'd like to publish it. And my minister said it would help people. So,
right. Pretty much the caterpillar coming out of the cocoon, how it's struggling and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. And then the butterfly, when the girl realizes she's okay and gets out of the situation, then the butterfly just flies away. Yes.
Has wings.
Yes. So
it's all about wings.
Yes. Love the butterfly wings. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is we need to keep sharing our stories and keep the positive no matter what seems to be going on around us, because our voices will be heard and God will make a way. And I think that you have such awesome stories to tell. I can't wait to read your book. So I'm going to be like waiting. I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to call you every week and go, where's that book or that chapter?
I might need that, actually. I did come across some of my like the beginning stages of the book.
Wow.
And everything. And I'm like, ooh.
Was that good to you? Like when you read it?
I was like, this could turn into something. And then I would find something else and piece it together. Oh, look, it's Kim.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hi, Kim. Kim, there's my brother, Mike. Mike, she's appeared. That's Kim.
Were you trying to introduce him before?
Yes.
Oh, look at the spirit did it.
She's like turning 50 Shades of Red.
I know. Hey, there's a book, 50 Shades of Grey.
But if nothing else, just they can become friends.
Friends, that's right.
Friends
that's right.
first and foremost.
Yes, I agree.
And sometimes that's all that's left.
That's funny.
Just saying.
I know my counselor recently said, take your time if you do get into a relationship and be friends first. And I used to just jump in.
Me too.
Yeah. So now I'm like
6 months.
Yeah.
I told this particular person, I'm like, well, let's take 6 months and see.
Wow, I love that rule.
How things go. Let's get to know each other on that level.
Yeah.
Because he does have some really amazing qualities that I just really just naturally admire. I love intelligent men. I love intelligent people. I'm just not gonna keep it for men. I love intelligent people.
Right.
And I love down to earth people and the people that they're highly intelligent but they don't flaunt it. They don't overly
They don't need that attention because they know who they are, and that's how. Right. If we have God, then we don't need to be like we're all equal and we all share our qualities. So
exactly. So that's what. Have you noticed though? The more spiritual aware you become, you can't seem to find a guy that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm like single right now, because I'm evolving quickly, but I'm also evolving helping my daughter. So it's like, but yeah, I do. I totally get that. And like, I'm okay with it. Like at first I'm like, but I don't know. I think I'm supposed to go through this growth period, and maybe we're like this so that we can assist other people in the world right now.
Yes,
there's
we're
a
light
lot
workers.
Yeah, I agree.
We're
for that.
the light workers.
Yes. Amen.
And even Gary puts his hands up and says, "Hallelujah!" Yes,
hallelujah. That's funny. Come on, Gary, you're a light worker too. Yes, I think we all are if we want to be. So.
Oh yeah, and that's what the bottom line is. If we want to be, if we choose to awaken to that, because there's a little saying, and I'll probably flub it up because that's what I do at times. Many are called, but few answer.
Amen. Yep.
So,
very true. Because like, we're all called, but it's just whether we're listening or not. And we all have to learn the lessons here on this earth. And if we don't, well, I believe in reincarnation, but if we don't, if we don't.
This is my last lifetime.
Me too. I said that to God. I said, I'm not coming back here after I see what's going on, but no.
Exactly.
But it's like, I just want to learn what I need to learn here. And I really try to be the best person I can and help as many people as I can.
Especially when you look at all the crap you've been through. I'm looking at my life. I'm like, really? I've gone through And I'm not saying that what I've been through isn't any more or less than what because we all have our stories to make us who we are. But I just sit back and I'm like, why couldn't my life be a little bit easier?
I know. It's true. I
wanted the charmed life, but I'm working on getting a charmed life.
Yeah, I am too. And I think, like, I asked God one day, I'm like, why did I get put into this existence at this time? And why are there, like, the supposed evil and good? But, I mean, I know what happened in the Bible, but then I realized, like, we can't experience heaven on earth. The other's an illusion. Like, you know what I mean? It's a big illusion, and you have to not see it, but you can create that harmony right here in your own experience and ripple out. Yeah. So
good job.
Thank you.
You're on the right track.
Yay. Thank you, Mama J. I got blessed by Mama J, everybody.
Exactly. Stamp of approval. All right. We'll take her to heaven now.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
The whole element of creating heaven on earth. Have you read any books by like Eckhart Tolle or Don Miguel Ruiz or Gary Renard or Greg Braden?
Ruiz, I have, and Eckhart Tolle, my mom has, but I've read other books by like Doreen Virtue.
Yes, Doreen Virtue.
Yeah, she grew up a Christian Science like me, not Scientology, but then she believes in angels.
Don't say Scientology.
No, thank you.
That's loco-ness. Not.
Those are Momma.
Glad you got it.
Yeah. And I love Doreen Virtue, and I love Marianne Williamson.
Yes, Return to Love.
Yeah, and she's running for Congress. District 33, California. I gave money to that campaign, and she won't take any PAC money, meaning from any of the families or the corporations.
Wow.
So she's raising it all on her own, and she had Shaka Khan at this Malibu mansion, and they didn't announce it until 2 days, but like there's this big party that she went and had raised money, and so I'm really praying for her success too.
Yes. Well, we need more people like that to get into office that are so awake and conscious of what is truly going on to shift that type of stuff. I mean, eventually I want to get into a place where I can do TED Talks. Yeah. That's my dream. That's my goal.
What are those TED
Talks? Are basically like Brene Brown. She is one of my favorite. She's amazing. Brene Brown wrote a book about gifts of imperfection, and she gave a talk, like a 20-minute talk about it, and it went viral around the world. And there's so many highly intelligent, highly involved, just amazing people that do these TED Talks that help change lives and just goes viral worldwide and just really impacts people. And
so they tell their story and then put it out there, and then it goes viral.
Yeah, and a lot of them have college backgrounds or PhDs, all kinds of different backgrounds, you know. Right. But I would love to be on there and give a really good talk.
That would be awesome.
And I've been asking for the material to be downloaded. So.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. I love when that happens. Like you ask for it and then it happens.
Exactly.
And, you know what? Did you see that movie? Well, I read the book, Heaven is for Real.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you love it?
It was amazing, for sure.
And I loved at the end how that young girl drew Jesus, and it was the same Jesus that boy saw. So then you know there's validity. And,
definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
I loved it.
What is above, so is below, and all around. But at any rate, where can people find you for your management? Because are you wanting to manage beyond just your daughter? Do you want to manage other people? Or
it's quite interesting that you said that, because I've been approached several times, and I just have had to turn people down because I'm really putting all the energy into my daughter right now and learning the craft. But I feel like I'm going to get ready in the future to manage other people. Like I feel like that's what I'm supposed
Your
to
calling.
do. Yeah. Yep. Besides my acting, but yeah.
Right.
So I'll be learning the ropes in Los Angeles a little bit. And, but you can reach me on Facebook, under Michelle Turner, and then Turner's Entertainment. I don't have an official website, but I just use the Facebook Turner's Entertainment. And it's TURNER''S Entertainment. And everybody's like, isn't that Ted Turner's corporation? And I'm like, no, his is Turner Entertainment without the S. But I have mine LLC'd and everything legally through the state. And then I have an LA and a St. Pete number. My St. Pete number is 727-320-4477. And my LA number is 323-301. Maya, where are you? 3208. That was long-winded. I had to think about it. But yeah, I mean, I'm managing both of my daughters in my career, and it's so fun because I'm learning, and I ask God all the time for input because it's new to me. So, but the right people or whatever are brought in. So things don't always have to be so hard in life like people think. And if you're struggling and you're thinking, why am I doing this 9-to-5 job? Well, you can pray and,
ask
learn
for a new opening. And when that does happen, something might end, sometimes abruptly, but just hang in there because something else does open if you're ready for that. If you get stuck in the stagnation and freaking out over that sudden loss or whatever, there's always a purpose behind it.
My best friend just had that experience for 2 years. She's like, Michelle, I'm so over corporate America. And she kept saying it, and all of a sudden she was laid off. And she called me, and she even said to me, I think because I was afraid and I couldn't take the step out that God ended the job for me. And he gave her a nice severance package, and now she's going to get unemployment. But she's doing several things now in her life. She's repositioning herself, and she's going to teach voice lessons like she always wanted to do.
You have to follow your dreams.
Yeah, and that's what she's doing.
You have to get to that point where you just have to throw in the towel and just jump into the faith of the divine. And surrender. It's the falling into and surrendering into the divine and knowing that your soul is going to take you to where you need to go.
Exactly. And when you take that leap of faith, it's like God places the big stones before you and the people and the
Sometimes
events.
They're pebbles, though. Just saying.
Yeah, sometimes you're balancing. Where's the next pebble or rock, please?
Yeah.
But you just have to forge through, though, because then if you forge through, but you let things happen naturally, but you still have to take the human footsteps.
Right.
But if it's not sometimes I think, okay, I'm going to go this way, but then I watch and I get warning signs and I'm like, ooh, I better shut that door. And then another door opens. So it's you just have to not be afraid and take the human footsteps.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, what I've realized is whenever I get a sense, I simply say, reveal to me what I need to be shown.
That's great. Yeah.
And within days,
yes,
it is shown to me. People's true colors are shown to me. And I'm like, well, alrighty then. And it bothers me a little bit because it's also an ego check.
Right. You just want to say, what are you doing that for? Yeah. I do too. That's our human side.
Yeah. But beyond that. So, well, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did. I love it, and I hope to co-host with you one day or, fill in or just kick it with you again.
Yeah, definitely. And everybody, I hope you enjoyed our show today with Michelle Turner here. And always check me out on Thursdays, 2 to 3, 7 to 8. You can find me on Facebook, MommaJSpeaks.com, on Twitter, MommaJ3511. And a few other places. If you just look for me, you can find me. So talkwatchstudios.com/MommaJ. That's where you can catch all my shows and archives. Have a beautiful evening.
Awesome. Have a good evening.
Namaste. I know you are a divine blessing. Bye-bye.
This program was brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization, setting the standard for new media broadcasting.